Boxing King, media in association with boxer ADE OLADIPO. ADE, big fight week, pay-per-view in January, which is very rare. So initial opinion just on that, are you happy that this is a pay-per-view worthy card?
Yeah, I think it's pay-per-view card. It's funny, I spoke to Benn in the TalkSport studios last week, and I was like, why is pay-per-view either 20 quid or 27 quid when you think of the Fury-Chisora fight? I said, why can't it be 15 quid or 10 quid? So I said, I don't mind this being pay-per-view. I get it, right? Eubank, Smith, you got to pay both fighters, but why can't it be a 15 quid pay-per-view or a 10 quid pay-per-view? So hopefully going forward, it isn't just sort of regimented that it's 20 quid. But look, it's a decent card. I like the main event. I'm so split on it. It's a 50-50 fight. I love Esserman Congo. Hopefully they get their shine as well. Good welterweight fight. And then you've got Riakporhe on it, Joseph Parker, Fraser Clark. So I think, look, it's a really good card to kick off the year. And I'm expecting it to be a very, very good year. If this is what starts it, then it should be a good year.
Definitely. And then obviously you've got Eubank Smith. Most experts are saying it's going to go the distance. The casuals are saying Eubank's going to knock him out, but the experts are saying it's going to go the distance. So where do you stand with it?
Yeah, I think go the distance. And I've gone back and forth with this one. I think when it was first announced, I was like, I'm going Smith, because I'm very much, what have you done for me lately? And I think Smith's done really good since he's sort of linked up with Joe McNally. I think it's still the same Smith, but I feel like he's been given a new lease of life. Eubank starts really fast as he did against Liam Williams, then he just slows down. I don't know if that's the engine or just him, we're not going to get the knockouts, so let's just take it easy. So I think if Smith is still there after the first 4 or 5 rounds, then I expect Smith to come on strong as he always does in fights and maybe just nick it. But look, I think it's 50-50. I can understand how people are picking Eubank. I can understand how people are picking Smith. And that's what we want from main events. We want 50-50 scraps. So, yeah, very, very good fight.
Congo Esserman, again, it's a proper 50-50 fight, domestic dust-up. But the fight came out of nowhere. One of the intriguing things I found yesterday was I said to Chris, there's 4 titles on this on display here. So how much are you getting paid after all the sanctioning fees?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? You're right. You've got the British, the Commonwealth, you've got an IBF Europe, and I think you've got a WBC Silver. So there are a lot of belts. But look, I think more importantly for both of them, although it's a domestic fight, the winner has to go. That has to go, and whether you risk it and do what Michael Mickinson done and take a big fight in America, you've got to do it. Esserman's 33, Chris Congo's 30, so it's a good fight. It's a good fight in the welterweight division. I feel like the welterweight division's a weird one. You've got the 2 top dogs in Spence and Crawford, and then you've got guys underneath, Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis, and then underneath that, it's kind of like you can get there very quickly. You've got a chance, so hopefully the winner just goes immediately, vacates all those belts that mean nothing, if I'm honest with you, and goes for something big. If not a world title, at least make sure your name's now fringe world level.
Definitely. I know we've got Parker,
Jack Massey,
yeah, just name escaped me for a second. Intriguing fight, interesting fight, but they both sized up next to each other yesterday. Joseph looks like he's lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you noticed that as well.
Yeah, Joseph looked a lot smaller. It was weird because when I first saw it, you're right, I thought, okay, Jack looks bigger. Then I thought, no way, actually, it's Parker that looks a lot smaller. It was the one fight on the card that surprised me. When it was announced, I was like, what? Cruiserweight, IBO cruiserweight, not world level, taking on former world champion. I kind of found it weird. I also found it weird that Joseph Parker's back so quick, because that was a beating that he took from Joe Joyce, and I thought we weren't going to see him until the summer. For me, the risk reward for Parker's minimal. I mean, it's a big risk, very little reward. For Jack Massey, big risk, but massive reward if you win. So it's the one fight on the card that I'm surprised. But look, for Joseph Parker, you want to get out there again. Andy Lee's doing such a good job with him. For Jack Massey, you can't turn that down. You get the phone call for Joseph Parker, no matter what the money, you can't turn it down because you win it, and it's a lottery ticket. You're in the mix to fight anyone in the top 20. So I can understand why Jack's taking it. I can't understand why Joseph's taking it.
Summed up nicely, Ade. I just want to quickly get your opinion on a couple of other matters. The latest with the Conor Benn situation, from my understanding, Conor's suggested that both tests were contaminated. Where do you stand with that initial thought?
I find it all crazy. I've been following Conor on Instagram, and I guess for the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's been putting things out there like, my innocence, I want to fight again. Look, we all have to wait for the WBC's ruling on it. It feels like they've made a ruling. I know Monsieur Sullivan released a statement the other day saying Conor can fight. So I guess we know what they've said. I've said from the get-go, I'm a big fan of Conor Benn, know him personally, but I've said from the get-go that it shouldn't be the WBC that make the ruling on this. This should have gone to an independent body, the Court of Arbitration for Sport, let them look at all the evidence, and I think that will help Conor Benn. Because Conor Benn's fight isn't necessarily with the governing bodies, it'll be with the fans, the public. Will they believe him? Will they believe him because of what the WBC have said? So I think that's the issue with it. But look, we're going to find out in a couple of weeks' time whether it was contaminated, whether it was spiked, whatever it was, we'll find out. But I want some sort of resolution. I feel like it's gone on too long now. That fight was supposed to happen in October. So we knew of an issue back then. Here we are, January, and we're still waiting. How long does it take for them to read a few pages 270 pages that Conor Benn's team have sent through? So hopefully we find out in the next couple of weeks whether or not it's a ban, whether or not he fights again, and we can all move on. Because right now everyone's having their opinions and we don't all know the facts. We're just guessing, and I find it can be difficult to say stuff when you're just guessing, you don't really know everything.
Eddie suggested that he'd put him in straight away with the Gervonta Davis. He mentioned Manny Pacquiao, Kell Brook. How realistic do you think that is?
Where did Manny Pacquiao come from?
He definitely said it.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. When I saw Manny, I was like, what? Manny Pacquiao? Who's having exhibition fights? I don't know. Look, it's not going to be Gervonta Davis. There's no way. Gervonta went to 140 and didn't look great up there. It's not going to be Kell Brook. Kell Brook wants the winner of this one. I don't know what they do, if I'm honest with you. I mean, look, why not fight the winner of Eka Usman and Chris Kongo? Chris Kongo has been calling him out for a while. We don't even know, as good as Conor is, we don't know if he's above British level. You don't really know, so why not fight the British champion? As a stay busy fight, if you like. But look, one thing he's got to do is fight. And he's got to have a lot of fights this year as well. Hopefully, whatever's happened hasn't derailed him mentally and we get to see him back again.
Last topic I want to speak to you about, just as Johnny Nelson's about to...
Johnny Nelson don't get 9-9 something, then... If Johnny Nelson don't get 9-9 something, then there's a problem. There's a problem.
We're definitely going to capture it. Last question I'm going to ask you is...
If you don't get 9-9 something, there's a problem. If you don't get 9-9 something, there's a problem.
And last topic I want to ask you about is...
Okay, that's not bad. Come on, get away, get down.
That was a warm up as well, by the way. I heard it. He didn't really go for it clean. This one though, I think that's 8. Okay.
Last topic, Derek James.
That's a former world cruiserweight champion. That is there, yeah.
He's got some knockouts on his record as well. Derek James, the guy looks like it's not been officially announced. The thought I want to get from you is, the rumours are it's Derek James, but it's not been officially announced. Why do you think that may be?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I thought the announcement would have happened. We all know he's in Dallas, right? I'm not quite sure. I feel like AJ just wants it all to be sort of behind closed doors. Whatever happens now for the next few months to be behind closed doors. Just get those training sessions in. Look, if it is Derek James, I think it's a good appointment. I think it works. You look at what he's done with Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo, 2 very, very ultra-aggressive fighters. If everyone's accused AJ of not being too aggressive, then well, he's going to be aggressive being around those two. So I like it. Hopefully we get an announcement very, very soon. But even if we don't, again, we kind of know what it is. I guess the thing with AJ is, I guess this next fight camp's a big one, right? Look, we're hearing Jermaine Franklin as a possible opponent for AJ. Some like it, some don't. Someone did say the other day, like, AJ's lost 3 of his last 5 fights. He's lost 2 back-to-back. You get to have, quote-unquote, a soft touch. So look, if it is Franklin, very good. If it is Derek James, very good. Let's just see AJ back. I've always said this. For me, as an AJ fan, I just want to see him fight. All I want to see is AJ have 3 fights this year. I'm just begging for that. So Franklin, Johnny Nelson doing stupidness behind me. Franklin, Dillian White potentially in the summer, and then one of the big boys in December. So I think you can get, I don't want to call Franklin a gimme, he's not a gimme, but I think you can get a gimme if you're having 3 fights this year. If Franklin's only 1 of 2, then I have a bit of a problem with it. But if it's not, then I'm okay with it. A lot of people have asked me.
I like Franklin. I think it's a good fight. Before I let you go, I was going to shout at your YouTube channel because I think people are listening to you. The last few we've done good views. So I just want to let the people know that if you want to listen to Ade, sit down and do a 120, do a lot of lives as well. Yeah. Just let them know what kind of times they can catch you and where.
Top man, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. So I do on my own YouTube channel, Adeola, so very simple, just my name. I do daily videos. Just talking about the sport that we all love, and then I do lives on Sunday and a live on Wednesday as well. Yeah, come by, it's fun. It's really good as well because I know this guy gets the numbers, so this should help me as well. So really appreciate it. So yeah, Adeola.
And he sits on the most gorgeous green sofa I've ever seen.
Glorious green chair. The green chair is more famous than I am. So yeah, the green chair. You know what it is? The funny thing is I've been doing the green chair for years. So I've just kept it. So it's going to go wherever I go. Because I remember when I started and I knew no one and had 10 subscribers, it was the green chair. So yeah, the green chair follows me wherever.
Top man, Ade, thank you.